All right. Wow. Um, it's been a while since I've done a podcast. I don't have any of my stuff set up. Uh, my laptop is at work, so I don't have it. So I don't have my mic set up. So I don't have anything. Yeah. So it's been a while. I almost thought like I was done with the podcasting thing. Uh, Life's been a bit crazy lately. So let's just talk about 2024. Um, it was a great year for my podcast. I interviewed so many people, shared so many stories of inspiration, hope, and recovery. Um, so that's been, an awesome journey. But personally, been going through a lot of stuff in life, some changes, some transformations, some things like that. So it's been it's been a bit crazy, bit of a crazy year. Um, I also got rid of the paid StreamYard. They went to a super expensive plan, so it's just costing a lot of money to be able to do the things I want to do with the podcast at the minute. I just I can't really afford to do that kind of stuff because I was doing a job I didn't really enjoy. This past year, I ended up the beginning of the year, I transitioned into a job working for a company called Little, and boy, that was a fucking mistake. I mean, honestly, I don't know why I ever thought retail was a place where I could be. Oh, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was run horribly as well. Like it wasn't managed well. So I needed to get out of that, and I found myself struggling with that. And then obviously on top of that, I'm going through some stuff personally, in my personal life that's been making things difficult for me. Um, so just been looking to do some work on myself lately. I lost a ton of weight. Decided to get off my ass and start doing something. In July, I decided that I needed to do something about my health and my weight. Because I was just eating because I was depressed, and I was eating because I was anxious, and was just eating to fill the void. Um, and I noticed that because like that's what I did when I drank. It was like the same thing, like the escape. The I just ate because it made me feel okay. Um, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good behavior to do all that. I wasn't doing any exercise because I had a surgery. I had a hernia surgery, so I couldn't do any physical activity for like 6 months at least. I got that in February. So I waited till like July before I could start doing anything, and I started running again. And once I got running and stuff, like I was still working at Little, and I think it was by mm, August. I was like, I need to get out of here because I thought I was gonna rage quit. I thought I was just gonna go in one day and be like, you know what, you guys can all get fucked. Like this is stupid. Um, but it didn't. I didn't rage quit. Luckily, I did not rage quit. So yay for me. Um, I I started looking for jobs. I found a job as a general manager at a gym, and how fucking cool is that? Like for me, that's cool as shit. Like, uh, hopefully, I do well at it. It's been a transition, but it's been good. I enjoy it. I like going to work. I don't really dread it like I used to. Like I dreaded going to Little. It was literally the worst thing in my life. It was giving me anxiety. Like it was giving me like bad feelings. Like I felt like this is not the place for me. And I had to get out. I'm glad I did. Now working for a small, not like a small gym, but they're expanding quite rapidly in the UK. It's they're called King's Gym, and they have 3 sites, and they're looking to open a fourth. And yeah, it's a great time to get into the business. I've always loved fitness and that kind of stuff. I've been in gyms since I was like 16 years old. Um, Never been a massive guy, never been a big guy, but I have been in shape. Trained jujitsu for years, played basketball. I'm athletic in that sense because I've done those things. So yeah, it's been really cool to transition into a gym manager. I get to work with like, you know, people who are bodybuilding and people who are, you know, changing their lives and changing their bodies. So that's been pretty cool. It's like been pretty cool. I made some really good friends doing it. So that's been really like a bonus on top of that is that I've met some really cool people. And I found it hard to meet people over here and like build friendships and relationships being in the UK. And yeah, so that's been pretty cool. But as far as like the podcasting and stuff goes, I just haven't had any time to really sit down and record anything or to get any more guests. I had some people reach out to me, and I've just not been able to, yeah, sort it out really. And I haven't been able to really sit down and say, okay, I'm going to start podcasting. This is going to be my schedule. I haven't been able to do that. And I don't know. I've just lost a lot of steam over the last year because of other things in life. So, you know, it's not like a top priority. Before it was a top priority, it was something that I really enjoyed doing and that I found a lot of comfort in. But also, I couldn't do any physical activity. So I kind of dove more into that as my outlet. And now I can go back to running and playing basketball and doing things like that. So I don't really have a lot of time to sit down and interview people to share their stories, which is a shame because I enjoy sharing people's stories, especially about addiction and recovery, because it does spread a positive message. It gives people hope. It shows people that there is a way out of the darkness. Um, but as everybody in recovery knows, that it's a battle. It's constantly a battle. Your whole life in recovery then is working hard not to go back, not to fall into that trap, not to give in. And life will throw everything at you to make you want to go back or want to give in, you know, or take the easy way. You know, it's harder to deal with life shit than uh, you would think. It's uh, it's harder to process that kind of stuff and not have an escape. And the escape is usually a drink or a drug because it helps you numb and forget. And when you deal with it regularly without it, and you have shit coping skills, or like not, I mean, I don't really have great coping skills. I don't think I've ever had really good coping skills, you know? I rely heavily on physical activity and running and that kind of stuff. Uh, but if I can't do that, then what? I have to deal with it, and I don't do well. So, it's learning things that can help me. I don't know what that could be, um, but you know, we're working at it every day. I don't know what's gonna happen with the podcast. I don't know if I'll keep it going. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen in 2025. Um, but whatever the case may be, the podcast has been super cool, super fun. It was something that I was afraid to do for a long time, and then I did it, and it's been such a cool experience to be able to do it. And I had help. I had my friend, ABJ Anthony Blackwell Jr., our guy in America, help me figure it all out and give me advice and be that guy that I could ask anything when it came to podcasting. I could ask him, and he'd help me out, and I truly appreciate that because, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to set it up. And then, he let me use his StreamYard for like a year, for free, because he's just that cool of a guy, that he would do that for me. And then I met some cool people. I got some people that did me some design work for my logo. And, this was been a really, really cool experience to like build something from nothing, have a vision of what my podcast could be, what it could look like, and then develop it and then brand it and push it out and share it with everybody has been really cool. Um, yeah, and then just get better at interviewing people and asking the right questions. And yeah, that's been really, really fun stuff. And I've had some great guests. Like, I've had some really great guests this year. Um, I had a mindful arts therapist, which I thought was such a cool interview to do, because I'd never really heard of mindful arts, but I'd always been into art and painting and things like that. And, just hearing her explain how that can help people, with depression and anxiety and traumas in their life, was really, really cool. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones that were really great. Mitch Motivates. I had my guy Mitch on, and he wrote a book. My addiction is my superpower, and you know, it, hearing these people say, tell their stories, and then how they wrote their book about it, and how they're getting it out there now, and they're sharing, and they're doing all these cool things. It's been really, really cool to see that. I got lucky, and I got Eric Zink, who's massive on social media. I mean, he does it as a full-time job now, but he's always talking about ADHD, anxiety, depression. Um, he has a supplement company now that's called BAMF, where he's promoting stuff to help people in early stages of recovery with like brain fog and some other bits, as well. So he was a really cool guest. He was a really nice guy. You know, uh, so it was really cool to have him on. Uh, who else was there? There was so many people. I had so many people on this year that shared their stories and were open and honest and vulnerable. Um, oh, Rory was a great interview, great speaker. I mean, his transformation, like his recovery story, is amazing. I mean, he ended up getting into a spot where he purchased a laundromat that he used to sleep out in front of when he was homeless on drugs. Like, he owns that now. He wrote a book, like he's a public speaker. I mean, that kind of stuff is just inspiring, especially to people who are struggling, who feel there's no way out and there's no hope. And then you see these people, or you hear their interviews and you hear their stories, and you're like, oh shit, like my life's really bad now, but it could be so much better. It could be so much different. I could do so many different things. Like, you have unlimited potential when you find recovery. Like, you can change your life however you want to change it. You can build the things that you always wanted to build, or do the things you always wanted to do. And I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not saying that it comes without struggle, but the alternative is, you know, dead or in jail, you know? So, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. Like, you got to just find your way out of it. And then listening to the stories that I got to listen to over the past year, was pretty cool, because these people have amazing stories. Um, I would like to interview more people and hear more stories and share more experiences with people that have battled with addiction and found recovery, and what their journeys look like, because it just gives people that are struggling more hope. It gives them more, it gives them more chances to find out that there is a better way, to find out that they can do better, they can do more, they're valued, they can be, um, yeah, they can be anything they want to be. You just have to find recovery. you know I'm lucky enough that I found it. I found my way out. you know so hopefully everything will work out in 2025. I'll come back. Maybe I'll do some more interviews. Maybe I'll just do some solo shit. I don't know. I really don't know. But I thought I'd just record this one quick one, little 15-minute thing, like just tell you guys what's going on because I haven't been on, I haven't been doing anything, haven't been recording anything. Just been dealing with personal shit, trying to get through life. Some ups, some downs, in more ways than one, you know. Um, but we roll with the punches. We get through. I'm still in recovery, still sober. It'll be 13 years in January. So that's absolutely crazy. 13 years. I can't believe that sometimes, like 13 years. Like if you would have asked me 13 years ago, would I get sober and would I stay sober for 13 years? I'd probably punched you in the fucking face. Like, I just don't think that that person would have ever imagined that this person could exist. You know, that person was killing himself. You know, that person was dying, and this person's trying to live. This person's trying to build something. This person's trying to achieve things. That this person is so much different than that person ever was. So yeah, so it's just it's been crazy, and it's amazing to see. I'm going to see 13 years of sobriety. January 22nd, 13 years of sobriety. Also, I have something really cool to celebrate that. It might not be really cool to everybody, but it's really cool to me. And when I get it, I'll show you guys. I'm going to unveil it because I think it's cool as shit. It's my vision in my head that was created for me by somebody. Again, a connection through ABJ, who hooked it all up. So that's coming in January. So I will do something for that in the new year, I think, because I want to show everybody this cool little thing I got coming from Ruta Championship material. It is going to be cool. I can't wait. Can't wait to share it with you guys. Can't wait to show you. And yeah, so I'm just going to wrap this up. Thank you for supporting the Addictively Speaking podcast. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for commenting on the videos. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you for listening on Spotify. Thank you for listening on Apple. Thank you for listening in general. Thank you if you shared it with a friend who's struggling. Just, thank you overall to anybody who's ever participated or listened to the podcast. I truly appreciate it. It's been super cool to create this and to see where I could take it in just like 2.5 years. So thank you guys. And hopefully I'll be back in 2025 to record some more and bring you guys some more of the Addictively Speaking podcast.